Coach, the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 26-yard line.
Come on, set. Let it go. 55, Mike. Here we go. Kill.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Good job, D.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Daniels. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The secondary, Charles, much maligned during the week. They didn't have their best game in the loss last week, but a nice play there.
Yeah, and I just know what they went through last week. I mean, ever since that time, their pride was hurt. They kept getting reminded of it in the local media, had to watch it on tape, and, the coaches just got after them. They came in ready to play.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Daniels going up top. And that is incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at about the 14. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Great blocking on the return. It springs. For 25. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Double time.
Now a give, right side. Ramsey. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
We own this. Hey, Team 6.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
All right, Brent, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Ready? 60 outlaw.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up.
Ready?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So now they operate back from their side of the field here, second and long. And he'll give it here to his running back. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a fourth down.
Let's go.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on fourth down.
Come to my work.
Hey, Charlie.
Crunch. Crunch. Slam, slam, slam.
Snap.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And this defense will take over right at midfield. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
80 weapons. Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. Hit it.
2nd and 4. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 36.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Hey, exit.
Watch the shit.
X3. Let's go.
And to give this time to the tailback. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. They just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
First down, Packers.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Daniels, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Daniels, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, no takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. Check, 55 to Mike.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Daniels. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta. Right back to him on 1st down. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 43-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Check 50, check 50.
They'll set up a throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 24-yard line.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. This one caught by Ridley. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Look at me, zipper! Go!
45, Mike, 45.
61, let's go!
They'll try to run this one in. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and goal.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half.
They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it.
we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He'll drop to throw into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Check 26, check 26.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. On first down, Daniels. Finding his safety valve here, that's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it second down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10.
Rush in.
Check 13. Check 13.
36, 36.
From the gun, Daniels. And he's got his man on the out route. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Andy Isabella was the intended target. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
You can't hang. You're not going to get one.
To throw on second down, Daniels. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Throwing on first down, Daniels. And it's caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. From 21 yards away. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them, because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10.
Let's go now. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. 48 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
Come on,
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Mike 5. Mike 5. Let's go. Deep.
Go. X3. 218. Chopper.
5. Mike 5. Watch.
Hey, rock it.
Second and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Pulled in at the 24. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ballgame. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. From Falcon territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter.
Come on, the ball. Come on. Switch. Rotate. Spell.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Daniels looking middle, and that's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 21. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw on 2nd down, Daniels. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Rock it.
Check hot route. Hot.
Bravo. Hey. Let's go.
He'll look to throw. And a little floater there is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Hey, wahoo!
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Picked off right around the 43. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go!
At their own 26-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now that turnover might just about do it. Here, fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Daniels. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as run. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 39. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 23-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Check. 1, 2, 3.
To throw on second down, Daniels. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Right there. 54 Mike.
And an alley to run. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. Fourth quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked. Looking to throw on second down. Daniels, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack. Throwing on third and long. Daniels, this is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. 47 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it second and 5. 5 yards on the carry, good pickup on first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Recon, 132 fighter.
You got tape. You got
Fair, fair.
Lucky.
Now.
They'll look to throw. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle. The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7.
Hey, Zoo.
Here's a second and 7. That ball complete to Isabella. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
This one caught by Isabella. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Looking to throw, and it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to go for a big play. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Mike Hilton.
You're looking there, the defensive back was maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
2nd and 3 at the 26-yard line.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Check.
Hey, Haywood.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52. All day, punk. Mike 52, Mike 52.
Buzz.
Guys, it's out time. 52 is the mic right here, over there, right? 52 is the mic.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line.
Get it.
2nd and 3. And he will find his man on the outside. 7 yards there and a first down.
Ready? 90, Wolf.
I got 15.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, y'all. Let's make...
Hey, team 6. Team 6. Ready?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
6-6. Pull it high. 5.
He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
To number 88. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Segona. 70. Indy.
Mike's 15, Mike's 15.
Shoot.
Again, he'll drop to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
It's now 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
You just watch 88 over there. Just watch 88. Single.
Hey, Charlie.
15's the mic. 15's the mic. I got 15. Gotta do better.
Now.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you